Yotsuya Kaidan is a story of Oil and Tamiya Yemen. It is a tale of betrayal, murder, and ghostly revenge. It's one of the most famous Japanese ghost story of all time, and has been adapted for film over 30 times. It continues to be an influence on Japanese horror today. Yemen is a ronin or masterless samurai. He killed the father of his wife Oil, because her father was aware of Yemen's evil past deeds. Penniless, Yemen has been forced to make his living as an oil paper umbrella maker, in order to support his delicate wife and new child. This situation has led him to resent Oil. Oyume, the daughter of a rich doctor, is in love with Yemen. They plotted to murder Oil. Yemen slips her poison disguised as blood road medicine, intended to bring back her strength. The poison did not kill her, but instead disfigured her, causing her hair to fall out and her eye to droop. When a mirror is held in front of her, her despair at her disfigurement, and the knowledge of her husband's betrayal, causes her to die by accidentally piercing her neck with a samurai. Soon after that, Yemen marries Oyume, but on their wedding day, the avenging ghost of Oil comes back to haunt the samurai and urges him, through hallucinations, to murder both his new wife and the father of the bride. There are other versions of the story, but one thing remains true, that the revengeful ghost of Oil still lingers and haunts the human world today. Josh is excited to visit his cousin, Daniel, in Japan. When they were little, they were very close and considered each other as best friends. But Daniel's father was promoted and needed to be transferred to their Japan branch. It has been 5 years since Daniel's family left, but they still communicate constantly with each other. Both are in the last year of middle school now, and they always share their misadventures in their respective schools whenever they can. Josh's mom will have a business trip in Shinjuku City in Japan for a week. Fortunately, it coincided with his school vacation. It was sundown when Josh and his mom reached Daniel's home, which is also in Shinjuku City. Dan's parents suggested that they stay in their house to catch up. Also, it will be cheaper since staying in a hotel for a week would be costly. It was a fun and noisy reunion. Josh stayed at Dan's room, just like the old days when they used to have sleepovers. It was wee hours of the morning when they decided to sleep. But Josh is having a hard time sleeping. He can't stop thinking of the woman he saw in the Shinto shrine, when their taxi passed by earlier. The following day, Josh found himself alone in the house when he woke up. His mom is off to her meetings, Dan's parents are at work, and Dan has some errands to do. Josh decided to visit the Shinto shrine they passed by last night. The shrine is easy to locate because of the red banners visible from the street, bearing the shrine's name, which is Oil Inari Tamiya. Josh entered the shrine and noticed a shiny golden plaque, which has writings in Japanese and English, telling of a woman, by the name of Oil, who lived there 200 years ago. As he roamed the place, he saw small white fox statues. He remembered from one of his readings that foxes are messengers of Inari, the god of prosperity and success in the Shinto religion. He continued checking the place, then suddenly, he heard a woman crying inside the shrine. If he was not mistaken, that's the woman he saw last night. She is wearing a green kimono with a red sash or obi. The woman's face is almost covered by her long hair. She is combing her hair, which is now falling out, and piling at a tremendous height on the ground. Josh was bothered by the sight. Josh approached the woman and asked if she needs any help. The woman didn't make any response. But instead, she indignantly mumbled the words, "Yemen, Yemen." Josh felt shivers when he heard the woman's cryptic voice. It sounded like it came from a grave. Then all of a sudden, the wind blew stronger and fiercer. The woman's hair swayed with the air, exposing her pale and disfigured face. Josh screamed in terror when he saw the right eye of the woman. It was drooping or sagging. He immediately ran away from her and out of the shrine. He was running so fast that he didn't notice Dan approaching from an intersection. He bumped hard into his cousin, and both fell on the ground. Dan, a bit irritated, told Josh to look where he's going. He also asked why he's running so fast. Josh was relieved upon seeing Dan. Even though he's stuttering, he told every detail of what he had encountered just a while ago. Dan was in disbelief and told him that it's impossible, but Josh keeps on insisting it. Dan suddenly grabbed Josh's arms and they went back to the shrine, to which the latter hysterically opposed. But when they got there, Josh, who was still shaking, scratched his head in deep confusion. The shrine is closed. There are barricades in the entrance to prevent onlookers or passers-by from entering. Josh said that the shrine was open just minutes ago, and that he was actually inside where he saw the woman. Dan said that the shrine has been closed for a month now, and there is no news on when will it open again. He also added that Josh might be hallucinating, or his mind is playing tricks on him. Josh cannot wrap around his head on the current situation. He just followed Dan on the way home, and once they reached it, he went to Dan's bedroom and slumped on the bed to take a nap. When he woke up, he remained lying while staring at the ceiling. Whether what he experienced is true or not, he'll just shrug it off and remove it from his memory. With his mind cleared, he stood up and prepped himself for lunch. But the moment he was in front of a mirror, he freaked out. There are long strands of hair all over his clothes. The room temperature immediately dropped. Then, from the mirror's reflection, he saw the woman on top of his head, staring at him with her drooping right eye, saying, "Eamon, Eamon." He screamed hysterically. The woman's long hair began strangling him. He is hardly gasping for air to no avail. He is slowly losing his consciousness. Seconds later, everything went black. When he regained consciousness, he wondered why he was on the floor. He can't remember anything. He just saw strands of hair around his neck, and lumps of hair on his bruised hands. His mind may not remember, but his heart will never forget. Because up to this day, Josh's chest pounds incredibly fast, when he hears or reads the name, Yotsuya